Hey guys, welcome back to Total Tactics Football. It's Fran here, and today we'll be kind of recapping the Brentford versus Arsenal match, the 2-0 victory for Brentford that saw them win their first Premier League match since 1940. And this was a huge tie because I think it showed the tactical depth that Brentford have offered to the table. And I think Arsenal were heavily kind of limited by the lack of availability of Lacazette and Aubameyang. And even though they had good individual performances, I thought Brentford had a very complete performance in retrospect. Brentford actually started today once again with their kind of 3-5-2 formation that they were debuting in the preseason, and this kind of means that they defend, as a back five. But what's actually interesting is that in possession, they are a team that actually play almost like a back four. Christophe Ayer, who's a new signing, is someone who actually moves into that kind of right back position, and he plays a very pivotal role for the team because he actually is someone who progresses the ball forwards and he allows them to play. And he allows Canos to also push higher up in the field. You can see here in this still where Ayer is actually playing very deep into the Arsenal half. He's progressing the ball, looking to kind of look for a 1-2 play here. And ultimately, you can see how many players Brentford allows to play up top. Here is another instance where Ayer is critical. You can see him looking for a beautiful over-the-top ball for someone like Mbuemo here. And ultimately, his vision and his ability to occupy this kind of right wing-back position allows Brentford to really kind of overload the midfield. Here Mbuemo has the opportunity, and I think what Mbuemo showed was his fantastic kind of technical ability. He was able to even dribble, off that kind of Ayer pass and beat, 3 Arsenal defenders. So not only did this highlight, one, Arsenal's poor defending, to be honest, but it shows the kind of potential Mbuemo has, and I think he only has to really work on his finishing and his clinicalness over time. Another instance here is of Ayer and how deep he pushes, even into the Arsenal box. And it kind of shows the license that these Brentford players have when they actually have the ball and when they've actually won the ball with press to actually commit and actually create goal-scoring opportunities. You can see here he's trying to lay the ball off to Mbuemo. And I was really impressed with Brentford's overall style of play. Here is another still where we actually look at what Arsenal did really well today. I thought Tierney and Smith Rowe particularly had great games. Here's the kind of situation where Tierney was actually looking to occupy the space out wide, and he would kind of deceive the Brentford defense at times that would play quite narrow. And Arsenal initially tried to abuse the width that they had on offer with Chambers and Tierney. Tierney kind of moves into this kind of very deep left wing position, and he waits for Martinelli to cut inside and waits for an opportunity to look for a cross. And here you can see he's completely in space, looking for a cross for someone in the box, but no one is able to really arrive at it and take advantage of the opportunity. Here's another still where Xhaka comes in, looks for a fantastic pass, and you can see Tierney outside the camera, but he's looking and he's very deep inside Brentford's box. Once again, looks for a beautiful kind of direct pass into Balogun's feet, but Balogun isn't able to kind of take sense of that opportunity and take a hold of it, and ultimately Arsenal weren't able to develop key chances. Here's once again Emile Smith Rowe, who I mentioned had a great game today, even though they weren't able to score any goals. Smith Rowe was dropping deep at times for this Arsenal team and looking to really instigate most counter-attacking opportunities. Here he drops deep, looks kind of to move in between the space of 2 defenders, and then finds himself on the back end of a counter-attack. And once again, his kind of beautiful passing is on display here, where he finds a threaded ball for Balogun, but it ultimately leads to nothing. One of Smith Rowe's kind of best displays was this beautiful half turn in the second half, where he was able to find a turn on a dime and actually move directly into the Brentford box and actually look for a goal-scoring attempt himself. I thought he really ultimately just missed better runs today, and the ability from someone like Lacazette to take a hold of some of the chances that he built. I think whilst Arsenal had a poor game overall, I would say Brentford had a very complete game. And one of the key things that really stuck out to me was how much of a complete forward Toney is. I thought Toney played tremendously by actually being able to push out defensively, and he dropped completely back. This is himself in his own kind of back half, pushing out to the wings and out wide, whereas Brentford were also able to kind of rely on him and his work rate to push up forwards, looking for long balls for him, and he was able to really maintain the ball in the air and keep Brentford in play here. Another aspect of Toney's game that really stuck out to me was his ability to actually use his vision, and I think he showed a lot of composure, and here he kind of threads Mbuemo in. A beautiful kind of half volley that sends Mbuemo in a one-on-one opportunity with Leno that actually ends up hitting the post. And ultimately today, I was very impressed overall with Brentford's kind of creativity. But for me, what actually stuck out was the tactical preparation. I think they looked to kind of identify the weakness of Arsenal in the air, and you can see here with Raya taking a great kind of kick out into the center of the field, and this is where Brentford were able to kind of keep and retain the ball in their kind of half and also dominate the center. It was also pivotal once again in that kind of corner where we saw once again abysmal defending from Arsenal and an inability to kind of keep these aerial threats out, and once again Brentford kind of get that second goal through that sort of chance. What Arsenal also really struggled with today was the kind of pressing ability of Brentford. I thought that in the first half, they by trying to play Chambers and Tierney very high up in the field, they struggled. And you can see in some situations, such as in this instance, where Brentford find a 4-on-2, which is very abnormal and shows that Arsenal needed to adapt. And they did by trying to kind of push Chambers slightly deeper in the second half and kind of solely relying on Tierney's ability to create on the left. What I really liked about Brentford's tactical flexibility and their tactical nous today was the role of Canos in the team and how it sometimes changes when they play out in this back four. And you can see him kind of making these diagonal runs across the field. And his heat map also reflects like him taking these positions in the midfield and even in the left wing territory. Ultimately today, we saw Brentford open up the fixture with a wonderful goal from Canos. And that actually came about because he was kind of set up in the left-hand side in this corner. And Brentford have a very kind of interesting kind of tactical structure where they have all their players up in the half. And ultimately, with Arsenal struggling to clear the ball deep, Brentford able to kind of retain the ball and actually head the ball to Canos' direction. Canos was able to take a wonderful finesse kick into the near post of Arsenal, where I think Leno was a bit mispositioned and couldn't see due to Chambers being in front of him. And you could also argue poor defending from Chambers took a big part in that first goal. But ultimately, Brentford had a fantastic game. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video on Brentford versus Arsenal. I thought it was a very interesting game. I thought Arsenal actually had good moments, and I know it'll be overshadowed by how the fans feel about this result. But I think there's a lot of positives. If you're a Brentford fan or if you're someone interested in the way that Brentford play, I think Brentford bring a lot to the table tactically and also just in terms of preparation. And it really reminds me of the great performance that Leeds had this season, or in the season last rather. Anyways, please drop a subscription and a like if you enjoyed the video. And stay tuned for more content, especially if you're an FPL manager, because I think it could be very interesting to look at these Brentford assets going forwards.